I'm going to be giving every single team that made the postseason one thing that they will need for their playoff run in the hopes of going on and winning the Stanley Cup. First up, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, and we know the past couple seasons in the conference finals, it has not been nice to them. They don't have that true number one legit superstar, so I bumped up Sebastian Aho to a 97 overall, to where now he should be able to play like a legit number one, top 10, top 5 player in the league at a 97 come playoff time. The Colorado Avalanche pretty much got back what they needed in their captain, Gabriel Landeskog, but I bumped him up to a 91 overall back into his prime, so they got a prime Landy added to Colorado. They have all the pieces that they need to win another Stanley Cup. The Dallas Stars need playoff Mikko Rantanen. He's in the top 15 all-time for points per game in playoff history. I bumped him up to a 97, so he plays like he should, and if he produces, it gives Dallas a very good opportunity at winning a Stanley Cup. Now the Edmonton Oilers, this one is simple. A 99 overall Stuart Skinner, an elite level goaltender, is what the Oilers need, and they're going to get it with Skinner now being bumped up to a 99. The Florida Panthers are the reigning and defending Stanley Cup champions, but a prime Sergei Bobrovsky, I believe, would help them out the most, considering Bob's age is starting to show. He's not what he used to be, not even last year. 36 years old, 94 overall, back into his prime. The LA Kings were honestly a tricky one, so I gave them a prime Nick Lidstrom at a 94 overall, instantly becomes their best player. I thought about Kopitar going back into his prime, but I think another defenseman alongside Doughty, but a legit number one, would really put this Kings team over the top. The Minnesota Wild were very simple. Get Kirill Kaprizov a line mate to feed him the puck, so I gave him one of the best passers in NHL history in Joe Thornton at a 92. 45 years of age, but he's going to play like he's 28, and that top line now of Kaprizov, Thornton, and I believe Boldy are going to be absolutely electric, as in real life Minnesota, they are absolutely tearing up Vegas right now. They cannot stop Kaprizov. The Montreal Canadiens are a wild card team, also a very young team, so I'm going to give them a difference maker in Carey Price, 96 overall. Prime Price is back, and hopefully he can steal Montreal some more playoff series. For the New Jersey Devils, I went straight ahead and just added Martin Brodeur back to the team. No disrespect to Jacob Markstrom, but he's not Marty. I mean, the real thing that the Devils do need is health, but obviously that would just be too easy because everybody's going to walk into this playoff series healthy in NHL 25. So Marty Brodeur at a 94 is not bad. The Ottawa Senators lack experience in the postseason, so I gave them one of the most experienced playoff players in NHL history in Mark Messier, 94 overall. Also instantly becomes their best player. The St. Louis Blues are going to get a number one centerman in Joe Sakic at a 94, 55 years old. He's going to be a sniper, so he might play alongside Robert Thomas and or Jordan Kyrou, and that just makes them that much more of a dangerous hockey team. The Tampa Bay Lightning in the first 2 games against Florida have been absolutely horrific, so I gave them the best defenseman of all time at a 96 overall to help out Vasi. The defense of Tampa has been straight up bad, so now the best D-man of all time, Bobby, is joining the roster. The Toronto Maple Leafs simply need a playoff Austin Matthews to show up, so 97 overall. I bumped him up like 4 or 3 notches so he can play like he should come playoff time. Vegas, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add to them a goalie because Adin Hill has not played great at all. The best, or maybe the second best goalie of all time, and Dominic Hasek at a 93 overall now is joining the cheaters. For the Caps, it's very simple. A prime Alexander Ovechkin who can fly up and down the ice, 97 overall. I mean, he was like 3rd in goal scoring this season at age 39, but obviously we know he's not as good as he used to be. Adding him to this Washington team makes them like the Stanley Cup favorites. And finally, the Winnipeg Jets. This one is very simple. A 3-time Vezina Trophy winner, the biggest fraud in the NHL right now, Connor Hellebuyck. You need to play like you do in the regular season. 99 overall. I bumped him up to the highest overall possible. He should be able to play very well and possibly carry Winnipeg to a Stanley Cup now, because I really don't know what happens. When the weather gets warmer, Connor Hellebuyck gets colder. Now that I've added one piece to every single playoff team, we're going to simulate the entirety of the postseason, see who goes on and wins the Stanley Cup. Obviously, the playoff bracket is exactly the way it should be. We know who's playing who, but we don't know who's going to take home the cup at the end of the playoff run. Gabriel Landeskog is not playing around. He's got his Colorado Avalanche up 3-0 over the Dallas Stars in round number 1, entering a very pivotal game 4 where Dallas has really taken control of this game. They're up 5-2 in the 3rd period. We got Jamie Benn scoring, Mason Marchment, Wyatt Johnston. Jamie Benn actually has 2 in this game. Oh, wait a minute. Colorado, Jonathan Drouin on the power play makes it an interesting one. 7 minutes to go. Jamie Benn, a hat trick in game 4. And the Stars, they're not going to be swept. Who knew playoff Hellebuck and a 99 overall would be undefeated in this playoff run thus far? A 3-2 lead for Winnipeg entering the third against St. Louis. We're going to see if they can get it done and move on to round number 2. Become the first team to win a playoff series. Shots are 31-22 for Winnipeg. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Playoff Hellebuck is shutting the door, shutting St. Louis down. And there it is. If Hellebuck wasn't the biggest fraud in the league, Winnipeg would have swept St. Louis. Unfortunately for the Ottawa Senators, adding in Mark Messier is not really going to change much. They're down 0-3 anyways to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Entering the third period, we got a 1-1 tie. Brady Tkachuk scored for Ottawa and Brendan Carlo for Toronto. So again, this series has been close in real life. It's close in the third period right now. Back-to-back overtimes, and John Tavares on Linus Ullmark will give Toronto the lead. 8 minutes to go. My man Stolars has been shutting the door, and Mark Messier's not even going to get a... Never mind, Shane Pinto ties the game up at 2. We're going to see here in overtime who's going to get it done. Maybe Toronto moves on. Maybe Ottawa forces 5. And no, they will not. Simone Benoit in overtime, just like in real life. Can't stop Kaprizov is in full effect here in Vegas. Up 3-1 over the Golden Cheaters. Hopefully Minnesota can close this series out in 5. 2-2 tie. Never mind, Pearson's going to take the lead for Vegas in the third period, and there is Ivan Barbashev extending the lead to 2. Vegas protecting home ice. They're up by 2 goals in the third period. Minnesota might be out of it. We might have to head to a game number 6 back in the state of hockey. It's going to be a very tough task for Dallas to get back in this series, man. Oh my, 4-0 after the first period, 4-0 after 2, and a 6-0 shutout as the Colorado Avalanche are off to round number 2. In real life, I've been very shocked at the fact that Tampa Bay lost the first 2 games on home ice. They're down in this series as well as Florida trying to move on to the second round. Nikita Kucherov will tie the game up at 3. But of course, Sam Reinhart will have to strike for Florida. Makes it a 4-3 game on the power play. 10 minutes remaining in the third. Tampa down by a goal, down by 2 thanks to Sam Bennett, extending Florida's lead with 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Tampa Bay is gonna have to start cooking, man. 1:50 left to go in the third period. They're down by 2 in a 5-3 game. Vasilevsky has not been great by any stretch of the imagination. Radish ripping one right off the shin pads of Schmidt. Call timeout. Hell no, we gotta get some offense right now. Full forecheck, full attack, point shooting. Easy save, but a prime Vabra... Oh my God, Braden Point shot again, and Bob will make the save. A prime Bobrovsky is a damn good goaltender. 49 seconds to go here in the third period. Tampa Bay probably should have pulled Vasi, but I'll wait a little bit longer as Florida's going to skate it out. Seth Jones getting the line over to Reinhart. Coming in, Sam finding Carter Verhaeghe. Shot, and Vasilevsky is forced to cover it up. Tampa Bay, where is the urgency? There is absolutely no urgency by the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't know what's going on. They're losing face-off draws. They don't even look like they want to be out there. I mean, they're better be done in 30 seconds as I'm going to pull Andre Vasilevsky. Here we go. Darren Radish moves over. Point shot. Nice save by Bob. Here comes Victor Hedman, leaving it for Gensel. Back to the blue line. Radish finding Kucherov, firing it, but blocked in front. Point on the rebound, and Bob again. No energy, no problem. Sasha Barkov has an empty net to shoot at, and he ripped that shit wide as he got laid out by Hagel in game 2. Gensel blasting Bob with 5.9 remaining will cover it up. It's going to be too little, too late for the Tampa Bay Lightning as they're going to end up losing in, I believe, 5 games to the Florida Panthers in round number 1 as the reigning defending Stanley Cup champions are moving on to the second round. A prime Ovi is feasting on the Montreal Canadiens right now, up 3-1 in their series as Washington looks to move on to round number 2. We got a 1-1 tie in the third. Connor McMichael and Cole Caulfield have the goals in the game. 10 minutes remaining, still a 1-1 tie. Washington on the PP. They can't get anything on it though. 7 minutes to go. We might have overtime on our hands. The first overtime, actually would be the second overtime of the playoffs thus far. Here we go. Let's see if we will find a winner in overtime. Are the Caps moving on to round 2, or is Montreal dragging this series back to the Bell Center? Ovi turning, spinning, firing. Nice save by Price. Is that Carey Price? He's wearing the number 35. I can't even tell. I mean, he should have 31 in, but if that's Doves, that is a nightmare for Montreal. William Carrier, where are you going? Carrier moves it over to Slavkovsky. Montreal having a tough time getting out of their own end. Over to Suzuki. Nick Suzuki finding Matheson. Matheson walking in. Nice save by Thompson. Here's a counterattack by Washington. Dylan Strome the other way. Coming for the Caps. Strome finding Protas. Alexi. It is off Ovi's shin pad. God damn, Alexi Protas. Oh my. Dylan Strome to Protas. Finding Carlson. Strome back to the point. Sandin. Ovi. Get over the puck and get out of the goddamn way. What are y'all waiting for, man? Greatest goal scorer of all time. Finding Strome. Nice save in the middle. Ovi again, full pressure. Alexander Ovechkin and the Capitals all over Montreal in this overtime period. Luckily, the Habs get out of the zone. Mike Matheson over to Nick Suzuki, finding the cock. Cole Caulfield, backhander. That was a weird-ass backhander, but it almost went in. Come on, John Carlson. You got to move your feet, bud. Sandin up to Connor McMichael. 3-on-1 for the Caps. The other way, McMichael. No shot. Are you serious? McMichael again, backhand, and it's Samuel Montembeault, not even Carey Price in the net. Mason Marchment with the most hits in the playoffs so far, tied alongside Warren Fogle. Very, very interesting. PLD lining up for the draw. He's going to win it. Back to Carlson, finding Sandin, blasting it wide, though. Alexander Newhook. 9 minutes remaining here in overtime. Full forecheck by the Caps, trying to do whatever they can to move on to the second round. Montreal, I mean, just desperately trying to hold on to the series. Connor McMichael, nice steal. PLD coming in. PLD blasting one. Nice save by Monty. Connor McMichael back to the point. Chikrin. Chicky. Bands will make it dance, baby. Come on. Somebody's got to bury it. 6:30 left to go. Full pressure again. PLD walking. Nice save, Montembeault. PLD once more. Montembeault flopping around his crease like an absolute fish. McMichael, get in. Oh my, Samuel Montembeault. I mean, they don't even need Price. He's in the net already. Monty straight up playing like a prime Price, so they already have him between the pipes. Arbor Jack guy. Can't get it out, though. Failing to get it out. Chicky. Lars Zeller. There's a rebound floating. Wi-Fi again. You got to move it, Jack guy. He's going to skate it. All right. Slow, sauntering skate to the neutral zone. Dvorak. Dvorak shot. Easy save by Thompson, and that will be covered up. 3:17 left to go here in overtime. 1 overtime per game. Over to Jacob Chikrin. Up to Lars Eller. Come on, Eller. You got to do something here. Eller coming in the zone. Finding Radish. Taylor. Eller, okay. Never mind. Washington, deadass, has their third line out there on the ice. Let's go for a change, boys. Bad change. Bad line change. Who did that? Oh, no. This could be disastrous. Never mind. They are going to stay alive here. Even with a horrific line change like that. Ovi, nice turnover. Alexi Protas. Finding Strome. Cutting in. Dylan Strome going to lose it, though, to Matheson. I mean, that's not a nice play by Strome whatsoever. Slavkovsky, the #1 bust in the 22 draft, shooting. No shot to be had on net. He's in on the forecheck on TVR. Ovi moves it up to Chicky. Bands to make a dance, baby. Come on, Jacob Chikrin. Waiting. Firing. Nice save by Montembeault, and that is out of play. 27 seconds ago. Wah. Over to Fairvey. It might be Matt Roy, actually. Protas trying to shoot. Roy. Down low to Ovi. Ovi hasn't gotten a shot yet. Back to Strome. Finding Fairvey. Again. Rebound. Ovi. Oh, my. Alexander Ovechkin got robbed by Montembeault. Fairvey again. No save. Protas. Ovi on the backhand. There it is. His 4th of the series will send the Capitals off to round number 2. The Edmonton Oilers are up 3-1 over LA. First period, 2-2 tie. Kopitar, Henrique, McDavid, Turcotte. 4-3 lead entering the third. So even with a 99 overall Stuart Skinner, he's going to give up 3 goals on 17 shots in the first 2 periods. That's not going to cut it at all. We got 9 minutes remaining in the third. Only a 1-goal advantage for my Oilers as they try to move on for the 4th consecutive season, beating LA in round number 1. And they are going to hold on and get the job done. Carolina trying to copy Edmonton's homework as they're up 3-1 over New Jersey. A 1-1 tie entering the third period as the Devils trying to force a game number 6 back on home ice, and they are going to do so, all thanks to Curtis Lazar. Here comes Vegas. I completely forget what the series is. Regardless, I believe they are trailing maybe over Minnesota as they cannot contain Kirill Kaprizov. And in the third period, we have no score. So that means we got to head to an overtime where the Vegas Golden Knights out shooting Minnesota 28-21, and it's not going to matter. Gustav Nyquist on Dominic Hasek. That will send the Wild to round number 2 to play my Edmonton Oilers. We got Winnipeg and Colorado, Toronto and Florida, a rematch of 2023, and then the Capitals versus the Devils. My Oilers are dominating Minnesota, up 3-0 in their series. A 99 overall Stuart Skinner is doing his job. 18 shots, we got 3 goals. Minnesota seems to be lost, and the Oilers now are trying to go back to the conference finals. for a second consecutive season. 8 minutes to go in the third. Can they hold on? 4-0 lead. Thank you, Connor McDavid. And there we go. A Stuart Skinner shutout in the closeout game. New Jersey up 3-0 over Ovi and the Caps is probably the most surprising thing. I mean, they do got Martin Brodeur between the pipes. Regardless, they're down by 1 entering the third, as the Capitals try to force a Game 5. And of course, try not to be swept as Alexei Protas gets a short-handed goal on Jacob Markstrom. So, I mean, Marty's not even between the pipes for this game. He must have gotten pulled, and the Devils, they're going to have to go to a Game 5 as Washington will stay alive with a 4-3 victory. The Oilers awaiting the winner between Winnipeg and Colorado. Could be a rematch of 2022 third period time. 3-2 lead for Colorado as they are leading 3-1 in their series over the frauds from Winnipeg. Playoff Hellebuck even at a 99 overall. I mean, he's getting bombarded with shots. Oh, wait a minute. Mark Scheifele on Mackenzie Blackwood. We got ourselves a hockey game. Winnipeg holding on, and then Scheifele again will take the lead. As the Jets, 5 minutes to go in the third period, will they force a Game 6? They will hold on, and we will have at least one more game in this series. New Jersey, again, has another opportunity to eliminate the Capitals and move off to the conference finals. They're leading 3-2 in this game, and Ovi ties it up immediately in the third period. We know the Russian machine never breaks, and he's never going to back down. We got 9 hard minutes here in the third period, a tie game between the Caps and the Devils. 5 minutes to go. No score. Will we have overtime? Wait a minute. Power play for New Jersey. They cannot capitalize. Here we go. Overtime on our hands. New Jersey has an opportunity to head to the conference finals for the first time in a long time. He's sure blasting one. Nice save by Thompson. Or will Washington potentially force a Game 7? Back in New Jersey, Carlson walking it. Oh my, John Carlson. A heat-seeking missile, and we will have a Game 7 on our hand. Game 6 or Game 7? You know what? It doesn't even matter. We're going to have another game in this series. Here we go in Game 6, Winnipeg and Colorado. Obviously, the Avs hold a 3-2 series lead, a 1-1 tie entering the third period. Kyle Connor and Nathan MacKinnon. And never mind, Cole Perfetti. I was going to say we're at a standstill, but a power play goal by Perfetti on Blackwood, giving Winnipeg the lead, trying to force a Game 7. Back in the whiteout in Winnipeg, 5 minutes to go in the third period. 99 overall. Playoff Hellebuck will shut the door, and we will have a Game 7. The Toronto Maple Leafs trying to seek some revenge over Florida from 2 years ago. Third period, we got a 3-3 tie. They got a 3-2 series lead. Thanks to my man, Anthony Stolarz, playing absolutely terrific, just like he has in the playoffs in real life. But Sam Oskevich, back-to-back goals on Stolarz. 5 goals on 21, 6 goals on 21 shots. And the Florida Panthers, wait a minute, Matthews makes it a game. 2-goal lead for Florida. They got to hold on here. 5 minutes to go. Can they do it? Sergei Bobrovsky shut the door. And we're going to add another Game 7 to our list in round number 2. So, in fact, I was wrong in my first attempt. This is Game 6 between the Caps and the Devils. Obviously, New Jersey, they've had opportunity after opportunity to close out this series and go on to the conference finals. They're getting thoroughly outplayed. Shots are 37-15, although Nico Hischier gives the Devils a 3-1 lead on absolute goalie job. Wait a minute, 1-goal lead, Mangiapane. In the third period, 3 minutes to go, and the Devils, they are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals. Here is our first of 2 Game 7s, Colorado and Winnipeg entering the third period. We're all knotted up at 1 apiece, Adam Lowry and Curavante, but then Jury is going to score on Hellebuck, giving the Avs an advantage in a power play. They don't get anything on it, though. 12 minutes to go. It's not up to Hellebuck now. Winnipeg scorers need to score. They have 40 shots on net. And they are getting absolutely, never mind. Kyle Connor breaks Mackenzie Blackwood. Late stages of the third period. Overtime it is. Here we go. Game 7, round 2. Who's moving on to play the Edmonton Oilers? Empty net right away. Oh my God. Did Nathan MacKinnon take the Nathan MacKinnon penalty? He did too. Oh no, Nate Dogg. What are you doing off the draw, man? 19:30 left to go. Winnipeg has a 5-on-4 power play. Unbelievable. MacKinnon might have just costed the Avalanche their entire season. And I mean, it's called the Nathan MacKinnon penalty for a reason. When I played with Pekka Pasta on Colorado, he took that call so many times. Devon Taves, though, short-handed. Taves walking in, and Hellebuck had a shaky time making that save. I'm not even going to lie, as Kyle Connor's going to skate it out. A 2-on-1 morphing the other way. Ehlers shot, and Blackwood with his, 45th save of the game? Another offensive zone draw for Winnipeg. They're going to lose it, though. Samuel Girard gets it out of the zone as Neil Pionk just got signed to a $7 million deal. That is going to age like milk, dude. I swear to God. An absolute overpay. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to keep players in Winnipeg. It is a tough city to live in. Nemestikov. Back to Pionk. Blasting one. There's a rebound. You got to get on that, Alex Iafallo. I believe that's you in the corner. Wait a minute. Goal Perfetti keeps it in. Iafallo walking. Nice save by Blackwood again. He's the only reason why the Avalanche are winning in the... Well, they're not winning in the game, but they've been kept in the game thus far. 2-on-1 the other way. Val finding McKinnon, blasting one right off the shin pads of Perfetti, and then Alexa not skating towards the puck. A very interesting choice there. Pionk over to Iafallo. Shot. Nice save by Blackwood. Shot again. Another great save. Cole Perfetti trying to keep the puck in. Colorado needs some offense, though. Let's go all out. Full forecheck for the Jets. Josh Manson fighting Marty Necas. Necas walking in. Necas and Hellebuck. Playoff Hellebuck will make the save. 12:58 left to go in overtime. Cale Makar. He's going to skate it. No, he's going to move it over to his D partner, Devon Taves. 12:20 left to go. Colorado really has only had one opportunity. It's by that guy. Marty Necas. Rebound. Oh my God. Tori Lehkonen damn near had the game on a stick. Ehlers the other way. Nikolai Ehlers coming in the middle. Ehlers waiting. Waiting again. Ehlers over Perfetti, and Blackwood will cover that puck off. Winnipeg's going to win the draw. They get full pressure right away also. Kyle Connor back to Scheifele. Finding Pionk over Velarde, and a nice pad save by Blackwood. Keeping the Avs in this game. Scheifele to Connor on the backhand. I don't know why he did that. Back to Scheifele again. Mark Scheifele spinning. Blackwood has no stamina and full pressure for 11 more seconds. 8:33 left to go. Scheifele finding Pionk. Doesn't even get a shot on net. Scheifele again over Pionk. Sandberg shot. I mean, you got to get the puck off the ice, man, if you're going to want to beat Blackwood. The dude has made 58, 55 saves. Another shot. Doesn't get to the net, though. Kyle Connor waiting. Connor shooting. Nice save by Blackwood. This might be one of the greatest goaltending performances potentially in playoff history. The dude has made 57 saves in the game, and Winnipeg damn near has 60 shots on goal. Here it is, Gabe Velarde. He's spinning away from his forechecker. Mark Scheifele getting into the zone. Scheifele waiting, finding Kyle Connor, and there it is! Kyle Connor sends the Winnipeg Jets to the conference finals to play the Edmonton Oilers. Our final series and final game of round number 2, Florida and Toronto in a Game 7, and the Panthers holding on to a 1-goal lead in the third period. Can a 97 overall Tommy Yake Matthews, playoff Matthews, show up when the lights are the brightest? And Matt Nyes on Sergei Bobrovsky. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Can the Florida Panthers respond? Are we going to have overtime again? Back-to-back Game 7 overtimes. Oh my God. Here we go. Another overtime on our hands in Game 7 between Florida and Toronto. What can happen? Carlo Marner in the middle. Back to Riley. Over to Carlo. Finding Matthews. Riley shot. There was a rebound. A juicy one indeed. But Carter Verhaeghe was right place, right time. Oh my God. Carter Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe on Stolarz. Nice save, Stoli. That is my man, Verhaeghe. Back to Jones. Blasting one. I think Stolarz made the save there as well. Barkov somehow's back for the second round, even though he got dummied by Brandon Hagel. Austin Matthews the other way. Tommy Yake Matthews wiring one. Oh my God! There it is. A 97 overall playoff Matthews has arrived, and Toronto is off to the conference finals. And here we go in the conference finals. We got 3 Canadian teams out of the 4, so more than likely a Canadian team might actually take home the Stanley Cup for the first time since '93. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 1 win away from reaching the Stanley Cup finals. Up 3-0 over New Jersey. 4-2 lead entering the third period thanks to Matthews and Pontus Holmberg. And then John Tavares will chip in as the Maple Leafs have absolutely dominated New Jersey 6-2. And for the first time since 1967, they will play for the Stanley Cup. The Edmonton Oilers are 1 win away also, as they have a 3-2 series lead over Winnipeg. Obviously the Jets trying to force 7 back in Edmonton, but a 4-3 lead entering the third. Can we have we're guaranteed an all-Canadian Stanley Cup final now that Toronto made it through. But who is it going to be, Winnipeg or Edmonton? I mean, an Oilers-Leafs Cup final might be the most viewed in NHL history. Thank you, Victor Arvidsson. On Connor Hellebuck in the third period, I guess a 99 overall Stuart Skinner. beats a 99 overall Connor Hellebuck. And there we go. The Oilers back-to-back seasons in the Stanley Cup Finals. A best of 7 Oilers versus Leafs. The winner will go home with the Lord Stanley at the end of the season. Playoff Matthews versus 99 Skinner. Here we go in game number 1. First period, a 2-0 lead for the Leafs. 3-0 after 2. And they are going to win game number 1, 3-2 over Edmonton. Ain't no secret who I'm cheering for. The Oilers need to respond in game 2. Up 3-2 in the first period. Down 5-4 in the second. They tied up going to overtime, but Toronto will prevail. Nick Robertson in overtime, giving the Leafs a 2-0 series lead. The Oilers holding on to a 3-2 series advantage. Stanley Cup in the building in Game 6 in Toronto. Can they close it out and finally win it? First period, 2-1 lead. Second period, 3-1 lead. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Brett Kulak, but David Kampf makes it a 1-goal game in the third period. Come on, Skinner. You're a 99 overall. Ty Emerson will score on Anthony Stolarz. 8 minutes remaining in the third. 5-2 lead. Leon on the power play. Oh my God. It is a 1-goal game with 1 minute left to spare. The Edmonton Oilers are a minute and 40 away from NHL history, winning Connor McDavid his first Stanley Cup in his NHL career. Nugent Hopkins shooting Stolarz with an easy save and 58 left to go. 58.9 left to go in the third period. McDavid snaps that one back. Looked like Sid there. Hyman on the backhand. Stolarz can't corral it. Edmonton is all over Toronto right now. The Maple Leafs, they want to force a Game 7 back in Edmonton, but it looks like there's not enough time. 44 seconds to go. They pull their goalie, Mitch Marner, finding playoff Matthews, and Stuart Skin Daddy Skinner will rob him. Oilers going to win that draw. Skinner, why are you going to cover that? Okay, Bouchard over to Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm is going to skate it. You got to move it, Ekholm. You got 3 guys on you. Ekholm is in trouble. Uh-oh. 3-on-1 the other way for Toronto. Matt Nye shot, rebound, but Skinner makes the save. 24 seconds to go in the third. Edmonton now is less than 20 seconds away from getting revenge, shutting down all the noise, all the haters here in the playoffs. 99 overall. Desperately what Edmonton needed. Full pressure for the Leafs. Matt Nyes walking out. Nice, McDavid. Right place, right time. And with 3 seconds to go, Nugent Hopkins misses the empty net, but that is all good as the Edmonton Oilers go all the way and win the Stanley Cup. McDavid gets his first. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl, Matthias Ekholm. All these great players finally get it done after losing last year in the most heartbreaking way possible. Game 7 on the road. They're going to get the revenge as they defeat Toronto in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. And it looks like playoff Skinner is a whole lot better than playoff Matthews. McDavid, back-to-back Conn Smythe trophies. He's got 14 goals, 29 points, so maybe not as good of a playoff run as last year, although he had more goals this time. And there is the Stanley Cup being raised in Toronto for the first time since 1967. But Leaf fans are not going to be happy whatsoever. I'm not going to lie, if this happened in real life, they might actually blow up their city. A riot would ensue, and Connor McDavid, finally, I get to watch my glorious king raise the Stanley Cup as the Oilers are Cup champs. Shout out Mitch Marner, man. He was electric. 10 goals, 32 points, leading Toronto to a cup final berth. McDavid at 29. Matthews was good in the playoffs, and Leon Draisaitl did his thing, but it did not matter as the Oilers went all the way. Well, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.